Hey there, it's Elena Strombo from SodaTutorials.com. Elena is my in-game name, and I'm actually revisiting a video I just made a little bit earlier, a couple days ago, regarding defense or defensive stuff. So I've got my archer, Elena, and it's getting up there in archery, getting up there in healing and stuff, but in the big fights out there, she's getting hammered. If she goes up against a Cabalist or any really strong monster, she can get wiped out pretty quickly. So I call it the glass jaw. She's strong offensively, but if she gets hit once, she can get taken out pretty easily. So when you first start a character, you kind of drill and you say, I need to get my offensive. I got to work on my swords and my archery, and I've done that and gone through that. And then as I got to higher monsters, I started dying more, like kobolds. And let me get better armor. So I got chain armor, and I did better. I could survive that. And then I started working on a heal so I could heal myself on it. But then you get to a point where you just kind of fall over. You kind of go, you only can be so much offensive and have so much heals and have such quality armor. Eventually you're going to get hit and get hit a lot. You really have to start working on your defensive stuff. So the other video I talked about that, and I went through and brought up the stuff. So I was looking, I work in full chainmail armor, and I was looking at the light armor stuff. And you got dodge, which increases your chance to avoid damage from multiple hits. You've got evasion, increases your avoidance. This one is escape, decreases aggro on your character. This one increases movement and attack speed. Will eventually come down into acrobatics, increases damage resistance, increases movement speed for sprint, and then flurry increases your attack speed. So that's awesome. And I thought that chainmail armor was light. I was wrong. And someone, I believe on the other video, pointed that out, and I experienced that because I'd opened up these out and I couldn't cast them. So, cotton, or cloth and leather is light armor, while chain and plate is heavy armor. I mean, that's just the basic breakdown of it. So I started talking to some of the folks in the guild about, well, what should I be? As an archer, a lot of soloing. Should I drop everything down and go into epic leather, which is kind of the top of the leather kind of side of it? Or should I stay in chainmail and just keep working that out? And one of the guys suggested, why don't you mix it up? And why don't you go ahead and just pull a different chest piece on there? So I'm looking at this right now. What I've got is actually bronze chain armor. Bring this up here. So I got my bronze augmented chain helm. I've got my bronze augmented chain leggings, gloves, boots. But for my chest piece, I crafted one tonight, and this is an exceptional one. This is a pretty decent one. It's +7. I've got a supple epic leather chest armor with sorcery. So it's got the sorcery gem in there for fire attunement. It's got supple leather, and it's made out of supple leather with supple leather bindings, or actually straps, and bronze bindings. So gave a good mix of things on here. But the key thing is, now that I have this leather chest piece, now I can actually work my light armor skills. And this is something I didn't know. When they say light armor or heavy armor, what they're really focused on is the chest piece only. So if I put on a plate chest, I have heavy armor on. Doesn't matter if I have cloth, everything else, it's just a plate chest. Whatever the chest is determines whether you have light or heavy armor. Now I know there's some bonuses if you have everything matching, so you kind of lose that. But I'm willing to lose some of that bonus just to have this centerpiece, the chest, as a light armor, so I can crack back into these skills under the light armor tree. A lot of this has to do with movement and avoidance, which is pretty much in line with what you do as an archer. I mean, I could have just said, okay, I'm just going to be heavy armor and start focusing on this tree, but it really just wasn't the way I play and fight. I pretty well fight more of an avoidance type scenario, so I wanted to get into this light armor tree. So this is how I did it. So I left everything as my normal character before with all my bronze chain except for the chest piece. I replaced that with a supple epic leather piece in there, and got my resistance and avoidance is pretty good. I'm hoping that as I bring these up, I will get those numbers up, and we'll see how they go. So that's it. So yeah, once you get your character, you've gone through, you've really gotten the offensive stuff going, you got your healing going, you've got pretty good armor, pretty good weapons, you're going to have to start cracking into your defensive stuff, whether that's in subterfuge, focus strategy, or in the armor chain in here. Like in subterfuge, I'm actually coming in and starting to work on some of these. I want to get down to some of the lower levels here, be able to sneak around, do whatever else. already love the one that there's a camouflage one. You just kind of disappear. Absolutely love that. But anyways, yeah, you're going to have to get into that, and I think you need to make a choice in your armor. Just remember, you don't have to stick with a whole full suit if you don't want to. You can mix and match. Given this, that I have epic leather, as my chest, and that's guiding it, I could replace my chain with plate mail. That's a total option as well. So that was it. I just wanted to bring that back on, talk about that again. I'll label this one out there as Defense 2, kind of an updated version. I learned some stuff in the game that I did not know, and I'm going to actually go start taking this out and see if how it works, and see how it works with my new deck. Because on my deck, I've also got it, so I start bringing in some of these pieces, like the camouflage. You'll see here, whoosh, gone. It doesn't last that long, but I just thought that's pretty cool. You got dodge, so these come up. I have them in my deck coming over here on the right side, so I can start working them. So yeah, we'll see how it is, and I'm sure I'll be out in one of the scenes or something. I'll record that out there and talk about that. But just consider this part 2 of defensive and defense and rounding out your character. So anyways, this is Elena Strombo from SodaTutorials.com. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you can in the video. That would be greatly appreciated. And you have a good evening and safe adventuring.